This is Kerala, God's own country. You know, there's a mythological belief that Lord Parashuram, who's considered as the manifestation of Lord Vishnu, threw his axe into the vast ocean and created land for his followers to live and reside in peace. This is Kerala, God's own country, made for people to live in Kerala and reside in peace. This is June 1st, 2018. It's raining in Kerala. It's raining the next day, it's raining every day. It rains through the month of June. It rains in July, every day, every week, through the month of July. It rains in August, every day, every week. It's August 16th, 2018. There are severe rains in Kerala. So severe that it floods 13 out of the 14 districts in Kerala. It is so severe that the government of India declares it as a level 3 calamity, which means a calamity of serious nature. Millions of people are evacuated. Their homes are destroyed, roads are destroyed. 65,000 people, I'm told, were in remote corners, stuck, and had to be really rescued to be brought into safe places. 489 people died, 15 people still missing. Roads damaged, villages damaged. Everybody is praying for Kerala. Everybody is praying for Kerala. Helicopters, boats, fishermen, medical professionals, NGOs, name individuals, celebrities, everybody had landed in Kerala to help as much as possible and rescue people and bring people to safe places and do their best in a time as bad as this. There was a lot of funding and financial aid that came into the state. It came in from the world, it came across states, it came from the central government, the state government, individuals, celebrities, corporates, organizations, everybody funded into this disaster relief for Kerala. This is August 2018. Cut to September 14th. This is a normal day in the life of an advertising agency or a digital marketing agency. This person's name is Bodh Aditya. He's in a function called account management. He's on his way to work. He's in an auto on his way to work. He's supposedly stressed. I don't know if you saw stress on his face. By the way, the advertising folks are referred to as, as madmen. And this was obviously a time before gender neutrality had a voice, right? This Bodh Aditya, who belongs to a function called account management, is coming into the office to meet Nishant Anantram, who is the creative head of that particular office. And there is Mithun, who's part of a data and insights team, who brings data insights into brainstorming sessions. Now, Nishant Anantram, who's sleeping in this picture, can sleep, if he's not generating ideas, can sleep anywhere in the office. He's so talented that he can sleep anywhere in the office. Bodh is extremely stressed, he's coming into office. While I spoke to you about 3 people coming from 3 different functions of account management, creative, and data and insights, I just need you all to know that an advertising agency has many functions. A lot of them believe that you can be in an advertising agency only if you're creative in nature. There are many functions inside an advertising industry, and for any of you looking for a career, you can actually look at any of these functions. Now, all these teams come together, play a collaborative role when they make great campaigns. Yeah? So why is Bodh stressed? Why is he coming in an auto? Why is he stressed? Because it's September 14, 2018. He has a client called Samsonite India who's extremely angry with him. The client is angry with him. Why is the client angry with him? Because 27th of September 2018 is World Tourism Day, and there is a brief flying with the agency and the specific team, and they haven't presented or cracked an idea worthy enough for a release. So he's very stressed. So he comes into the office that day, decides that at any cost, he and his team must find a great idea and present it to the client. While they're brainstorming, they hit on these articles, right? The first one that you can see, which is about tourism coming to a grinding halt in Kerala post the floods. Please note, my friends, tourism contributes to 10% of the GDP in Kerala, which is approximately around 27,000 crores we are talking about, really. Now, Kerala having a low tolerance to liquor, was so desperate to raise revenues, was even open to releasing license for liquor. That was the state of Kerala after the floods. Now, they looked at this particular set of articles, and suddenly an idea was born. This was September 14th, the idea was born. They rushed to a client. The very next day, September 15th, they carried this idea to the client and presented this idea to the client, and the client loved it and approved it on the spot. That very day, they called up this lady called Deepti Nagia, who's a director. Now, let me tell you how agencies work. An agency thinks strategy. An agency thinks insights. An agency thinks ideas. An agency thinks scripts. It could be a post. It could be a reel. It could be a story on Insta. An agency thinks of content, design, story, and executes most of it in-house. Sometimes, depending on the scope of the film and the complexity of the film, if it is film in nature, they go out and meet directors and production houses to execute these films for them. Now, this is one such idea that required the agency to go out and seek support from the external world. They spoke to Deepti Nagia, who is part of Momoto Productions, and shared the story with her. Deepti loved the idea, and she said she wanted to be associated with this particular film. Deepti and the team, right, I spoke to you about Nishant and Bodh and team, flew to Kerala to hire a production team, a local production team, to come on board and help them shoot this film. They also had to do something called the location recce, which means go there and choose the locations where this film could be shot. They did this over the next 2 days. Yeah? On September 17th, we started the story on September 14th, where on September 17th, Deepti Nagia and the team at Grey had finalized every detail to do with the film production. Now there is a meeting called the pre-production meeting. Now, this is a final meeting that you do before you shoot a film. Normally, a PPM is called and the client is invited into this meeting, and the agency and the production and the director shares every single detail about the film production with the client. Now, the client expects the agency to finally deliver a film that matches everything that was told in a PPM meeting. Now, a PPM meeting will have details about what location, who are the actors, what are they going to be wearing, where are we shooting, what's the kind of music. It will have every single detail about the idea, and this is the last presentation made to the client on an idea, because after this, the client expects the agency to meet every expectation set in this particular meeting. So the PPM is called for on September 17th at 12 in the night. Now, this happens only in an advertising agency. You can call for a meeting at 12 in the night, and the client has no other choice but to join this meeting. So on September 17th, midnight, a PPM meeting is done between the agency sitting in Kerala and the client sitting in Bombay. Client loves every detail in the PPM meeting and gives the agency a go to go and shoot the film. Now, this doesn't easily happen. Normally, PPMs go into round 1, round 2, round 3. But here was one such case where there was no debate. Everything was loved about the idea. Everything was loved about the details shared in the PPM meeting, and we were asked to go ahead and shoot. Shoot begins the next day. September 18th and 19th, shoot happens over 10 hours into 2 days, 20 hours of shoot in the state of Kerala. And then the team flies back to Mumbai with all the footage that they have created and they've shot in Kerala. They reach Mumbai and they do what they call the post-production work. A post-production work is really work after the shoot is completed. You reach studios where 20 hours of footage that's been shot is then brought down to 60 seconds or 1 minute, because your film is finally in 1 minute. You have to bring down 20 hours of footage to 1 minute or 60 seconds, and then you color correct it, you grade it, you add the voiceover on top, you record the music and layer that on top. You do all this to get your 1 minute perfect film. This is done over September 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. The film is ready. The client sees the film on September 24th, loves the film, asks for a few tweaks. Again, never really happens. For everybody who's in advertising will know that this is not something that normally happens. Clients like to be fussy and they like to have a lot of changes. But no, here was luck on our side. Everything went well. The client asked for a few tweaks and the film goes live. It goes live on September 25th evening. Now this day, I'm in Mumbai. I have a lot of meetings and I've gone through my meetings. I know my team is taking care of this film and this film has gone live on September 25th evening. I'm doing my work, I have a lot of meetings, and then I'm tired and I've gone to sleep. I stay in a hotel when I go to Bombay and I've gone to sleep. I get up in the morning and there is an internet explosion. There is an internet explosion because a film that went live the previous evening has suddenly, I just heard our two lovely young boys speak the word viral. Overnight, the film has gone all over the place. People are talking about it. Everybody is wondering who has created this? Which is this agency that created it? Why hasn't any CEO, and they're talking about me, why hasn't any CEO taken credit on a film like this? I didn't even realize overnight something like this could happen. People were talking about it. Media had covered this in plenty already. Kerala Tourism was thanking Samsonite for an idea like this. They said, thank you, Samsonite India. It's time for Kerala. Incredible India appreciates the initiative and says, we sincerely appreciate Samsonite India's thoughtful initiative to revive Kerala tourism and to rebuild the state's economy. Let's build a new Kerala together. Politicians acknowledge. Shashi Tharoor says Kerala seeks the return of its tourists to help the state recover from the recent floods. There's a lot of acknowledgement that's coming in. Bollywood is suddenly also very interested in its praising. There's Parineeti Chopra and everybody else who's talking about it. Influencers, we all know the world of influencers. They're endorsing this idea. Industry experts are admiring it. And citizens of India and specifically Kerala are thanking Samsonite for something as beautiful as this. India plans to travel back. There's conversations happening about India planning to travel back to Kerala. Now, what is this idea? Why have we been talking about something like this, right? And the best part is that, the client that we represented, people are so happy with something that we created that they want to buy Samsonite suitcases right now. What are we talking about? Even before I show you what we're talking about, I know these numbers can mean a lot. I just want you to take away the fact that this was big. Normally, to get something as big as this, you need to spend huge amount of money. We spent a fraction of our budgets. We did really nothing because it had exploded and everybody loved it. Now, we've been talking about this idea for a while. Why didn't we see what this idea is? Let's play the film, please.
One Mr. Nambiar from Alleppey has glanced at his door for the 23rd time today. Jansi has repeated her week-long routine of waiting at the airport and then going back home. The veteran Mr. Nair can't seem to reach for the colors he longs for. And Fatima's legendary curry bean fry is missing its secret ingredient. Because every great dish needs a foodie. Just like an artist needs an audience. Like a driver needs a destination. And after all these difficult weeks, what Kerala really needs is you. Come, let's revive Kerala tourism. Kerala is open.
You know, the beautiful message to take away really is that I think, if you remember the slides that I showed you, everybody wants to help, everybody was praying, everybody sent money, everybody landed there, and that was the need of the hour and it was to be done. But if you really were needed to really help Kerala, you can send money and help people only for a while. If you really need to help anybody, you have to help them become independent and self-employed and help them, gain their confidence by getting their occupation back all over again. And that's what Samsonite did for Kerala, which got acknowledged by the world. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this, it is every brand has a purpose. And if you do work close to this purpose, you will see an impact on that work. If Samsonite had thought about selling suitcases in a campaign like this, they wouldn't have benefited. The CEO actually went on record and told me that he saw a 200% lift in sales in Kerala. And here's a campaign which didn't sell the product. It stood for a purpose. It stood for a purpose much larger, to help tourism back in a state that needed it, so that its contribution to revenue came back again. And so if there's one thing I want you to take away, even in our own lives as humans, if we stay true to our heart and do what our heart tells us, you will find the results come out of this whole thing. Thank you. This is Anusha Shetty.